What's up, everybody? Peace to all the gods and goddesses on earth. And this is the first episode of the Trinity. And I know y'all gonna look on the screen like, well, it's 4 people on here. No, actuality, my consort is there, Mela. And the 2 others that's joining us right now are fam. And my cousin Trigger T, my cousin Cosmic Cootie. So yes, it's Trinity. Yeah, it is a Trinity, y'all. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing?
Good.
I'm good. I'm good.
Going great.
Real good.
Yeah.
Man. I know once we get into this topic tonight, man.
It's a time to be alive. That's all I can say.
That's all I can say.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. It's an awakening right now.
The mass awakening. I call it the mass awakening.
Yes.
AKA take your mask off and see what the hell is going on right in front of your face. It's been there the whole time.
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I'm kind of glad that we all here. You know what I'm saying? We can have a good conversation right now, and especially because of what's going on. There's a lot of exposing of the Bible and Jesus being going on right now, and by us for being grown up in religion, I mean, and to the core of it, but as they would say, the root of it, literally. I want to get y'all aspect on what's going on right now, and I would love to start with either Trigger T or Mela. Whatever 2 want to go, whichever one want to go first. Whatever y'all have been seeing.
I'm gonna let the first lady go first.
Okay.
Go ahead, first lady.
Yeah. So I believe you're trying to touch on everything that's happening in the world right now. It's like a reckoning going on. It's kind of like a spiritual warfare that's happening between the natural realm and the spiritual realm. And I believe that eventually the spiritual realm will win at the end result. But we have to get through all the ugly things, the good, the bad, and the ugly, before we can get to the other side of this. Because what's happening right now is affecting all of us in so many different ways, you know, whether it's financial, whether it's stable, mental, physical, all of it. Like everyone's being affected in some form or fashion. And I do feel like it's a pull. I do feel like it's time for people to kind of tap in and tune in versus just saying, oh, you know, that's not pretty much what's happening over there don't have anything to do with me or what's happening over here. Everybody should be playing a part, just like we're doing today, and speaking about some of the things that's happening across the world and how it affects us on both sides of the spectrum, spiritually and physically. So Trigger T, what you think?
Beautiful first lady. You see these nice thick black glasses I got on tonight?
Yeah.
They called the blinders. I feel like I've been blinded for years right now.
Damn, cuz.
My mind is blown. Me and the Hill have been talking for the last couple of weeks. I had a conversation with my family yesterday. It's funny, right? My oldest daughter's like, "Have you seen the movie Sinners?" Man, that drew me out of my seat. Like, we got to talk about this. So I broke down everything for the family yesterday. And we came to the conclusion. It came out of their mouths. They were like, I feel like we being pulled 2 different ways. And don't know where and don't know which way is what, and feel like we've been lied to, hoodwinked, bamboozled. For somebody that grew up in the church, not even just the church. The church is just a building. I've always known this. It's just a building. We are the church, our spirit. We are God. But for somebody that was like so enriched in the Bible, so enriched in Jesus and all this other stuff, and me and Cuz been talking for all this week. My mind right now is just blown. But I'm loving this. So, but I feel like what we're going through right now, spiritually, it's a pull. And it ain't just a pull from Satan and God. It's a pull from what we've been taught and what's real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
And I'm feeling some type of way because I've been raising my children like this.
Come on now.
But
come on.
But then I got to go back and correct it. You know what I'm saying? I got to go back and talk to my children. Say, hey, you know,
this ain't right.
Ain't nobody coming to save us. We're gonna save ourselves. I'm gonna drop something and then I'm gonna let Cosmic Cutie pick up. Cause no, I've been watching a lot of stuff lately. So, cause I told you I rewatched Malcolm X, right?
Right.
You know what I picked up on that I never picked up on? When he was giving his speech in New York, when he was talking about politics, he said before there was anything of a Methodist or a Catholic or what, we were black. Anything of a politician or a Pentecostal, we were black, right?
Right.
You know what else he said, cuz? He said, I say.
I say.
Cuz when I heard that, it brought a revelation to me because I'm sitting there like, I done seen this movie 100 times. Me and Cuz went to this movie and we was, I don't know how we were, but your aunt took us.
13, like 12, 13.
Yeah. But she took us for a reason though. We ain't know it then. I ain't know it then, but I know it now. And my oldest daughter told me yesterday, Dad, I feel like it's an awake. I didn't even say it. She said, I feel like it's an awakening going on.
Yeah, man, because the kids seeing it too. They're seeing it. Yeah, they seeing it. They cannot help it because that's all in the algorithm right now. Because there's so much being exposed at one time. Like it's just not religion. It's everything, bro.
Everything. It's everything.
I would go ahead, cuz.
I just, like I told you before earlier this week, my mind is blown right now. But I'm so locked in and so in tune with who I am and whose I am that it's not gonna break me, even though it's like everything that I knew, now I retrain myself. And I gotta retrain my family. I gotta let them understand where we are, where we going, and whose we are, and who we belong to.
Right.
And know that we pretty much saving ourselves.
Yep.
And it's just it's wild what's going on right now. And it's like we got in a conversation about sports and everything. How it entails. All
of it.
Yep. With entertainment,
everything.
With everything.
Yes.
Everything. So, this right here, this is beautiful, man. This is awakening. But that's how I feel because I was raised to just, like I said, I actually I went to school to become a pastor, right? And had people tell me
wow.
People tell me I can't preach in a certain pulpit because or teach. I like to say teach in a pulpit because you can preach, but are you teaching?
Right.
But I don't have the right credentials.
Wow.
I don't have the right credentials. Like what? And then to find out everything that I'm finding out right now. But see, this is what we doing right here. This is what it's about. You don't have to be, you don't have to be in a building. You don't have to be in a pulpit. You ain't got to be, it ain't about that. It's truly not about that. So, that's where I'm at right now. I'm in a learning state. I'm learning again.
Yeah.
I'm educating myself, and I'm trying to withdraw from what I thought I knew. And that's
the hardest part.
It's the hardest part because I feel like, and Cuz asked me, said, "You okay with the show tonight, because he knows that I'm really going through something, like trying to
I know.
to relearn everything. But yeah, I'm good because I know that I'm a king, that I'm a God, and that God is in control. So, I mean, it don't get no plainer than that. But like all of us here, we got different. It's all different walks of life right here. I'm like excited about this right now because it's all different walks right now. We all at different stages, and we gonna help each other. Because right now, I'm telling y'all, I took up my mind. I sent him an emoji with the brain blown up. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. And then like then comes the ones that have taught you a certain way. And you try to say, nah, that ain't it. And they like, what are you talking about? Oh, it's coming. It's coming because they're gonna look at you like you got 4 heads. I know they're gonna look at me like I got 4 heads, but hey, it's about being real. It's about what's real. Like right now, it's a spiritual, like Miller said, it's a spiritual war right now. And I ain't talking about Satan or Jesus.
Nah.
I'm talking about. Go ahead, because I see your finger going. I know you want to say something.
No, it's a spiritual warfare within yourself.
Within yourself.
Fighting yourself, bro. That's it. That was the most magical trick that nigga could have ever performed. Was I'm gonna make you fight yourself. Boom. Let me see how long that lasts. You just in the ring boxing with yourself, nigga. That's it. Didn't even know the whole time. All you had to do was get out the ropes, nigga. That's it. Let that nigga fight by himself. And now go ahead, cuz I ain't even gonna.
Yeah, I'm done. I want to hear from Cosmic Cutie now. I'm done. I'm not done, but I'm.
Yeah.
Man.
Go ahead, Cosmic.
Well, I want to say, welcome, neophytes. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Okay.
All right.
Secondly, I want to say that I've been waiting for everyone to join. I've been waiting for 10 years. I've been waiting. And I knew this moment would come. I've been studying. I've been meditating. I've been here. I've been there. I've been all over the world in my brain. But what I will say is that we are in the revelation. That's where we are right now. We are in the revelation of everything that we thought was true. Now we have to start questioning everything. And, I'm not here to tell anybody what is or what isn't. I'm just here to let you know that you have to rethink what you've been taught by your parents, by your schools, by your doctors, by your politicians, by your friends, by your neighbors. You're going to have to rethink and relearn everything, because everything, and I mean everything, from sports to schools, down to just how you communicate, okay? It's all been turned inside out and flipped upside down. What I see now happening is the age of information, where because we are here on the internet like we are now. Before, you used to have to go to mystery schools to learn the stuff that you can learn now. You used to have to go to mystery schools. You used to have to be in a cult. You used to have to be in a secret society to learn the esoteric knowledge that is being just put and plastered all over the place. You had to actually be in the know. You had to be in these classrooms, back in the 90s when you had Bobby Hemmett and, Dr. Phil and, Dr. Layla Africa, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Sabi, like you had to go to Honduras to learn how to eat properly and how to, live properly. You had to be in the know. But now you can turn on TikTok and it's going to be some whoever online spewing facts, whether it's AI or not. It's readily available to you. Those who seek shall find.
Right.
And those with the eyes to see and the ears to hear shall experience. But if you don't want to see and you don't want to hear, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. And the feeling is the magnetic pull. And what we're feeling right now is a shift and a separation. A shift in timelines, a separation in humanity. That's what we're feeling right now. And you're going to have to pick a side. Are you going to choose the world? Or are you going to choose yourself?
Was you in my brain today? Because I was going to say that.
When they come for you, because they're going to come. They're going to come.
Wow.
They're going to come. They're coming. There will be no stone left unturned. And in that moment, you're going to have to choose. Are you going to choose the system? Or are you going to choose yourself? And that's it.
I feel like that had something to do with the pandemic too. That was just the start of it, the pandemic. Even though
it started way before that.
Even though it's happened way in, but it's kind of like you had to choose if you wanted to take it or not, and then you got looked at crazy because you didn't take it. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that.
Life is about choices. One of the universal laws is cause and effect. Whatever you do, there is something that happens after it. We call that karma. But what we're experiencing right now is karma. Because of the lies, because of the deceit. Now, the masses are waking up to your foolery. And now what you gonna do about it?
Because like I said,
what you gonna do about it? Go ahead, Mel. I couldn't hear you. What you said?
I said the veil is being lifted. That's just you're in a wedding.
Exactly.
How you in a wedding? You put your veil on, cover your face, and you go down the aisle. And then once you take that veil off, you know what I'm saying, you're married. It's like you can't unsee what you did.
Yeah.
About to marry in a sense. And it's like you have to make a choice if you want to say I do or you don't. So that's I'll relate it back to the wedding because that's just
absolutely. Well, the divine union is, we can get about that. That's duality. But the last thing I'm going to say is, speaking of the wedding, it's kind of like when you go and you get married, and then literally that night, your husband flips on you.
Right. Yes. Don't say
and you like, whoa. I didn't know that you were like this, but you were always, this shit was always in you. This is who you always were. But you lied to me.
And it hurt.
And it hurts.
It hurt when
yes.
Cosmic when
and part of the stage of awakening is anger. Part of the stage of awakening is anger. The first one is denial. The first one is denial. Okay. The first one is denial. And the second one is anger.
Mm-hmm.
The third one is sadness.
Mm.
And then you become empowered. Because now you're like, okay, game on.
Right.
But I feel like I've been through all of them phases since the beginning of the year. I don't know what's happening, but
it's going faster now. Time is moving fast. Trust. Yes.
But how you feeling now, Miller?
But I'm, sometimes you get a little stuck, like, trying to get out of it for yourself.
Of course.
Pulled back. But, yeah.
Of course.
So how you feeling now, Miller?
Oh man. To be honest, I want to say when you said the last one was sad, I feel like it's been a lot of sadness. Like, saying like I gotta tell myself that if I feel sad or if I realize something that wasn't true, I gotta be like, well, it was meant for me to know this, and I have to learn how to let it go. It's just letting go, like you said, of what you used to know. So it's just like, damn, and it's just sad because you like, I can't believe that I believe in this, and I can't believe that things are happening to certain things. Like, oh, this is gone, oh, this is gone. And it's like they always say when you get things taken from you, you'll get it back. But it's like I don't even know if I want any of it back. It's just like I want to stay on the path because I don't want to be sad anymore. I don't want to be mad anymore. I don't want to be in denial anymore. So it's just like I have to get past all the stages so I can get to that stage, which is being victorious and claiming who you are, standing in it and believing it, and and don't fall for all the trickeries anymore.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. But yeah, welcome to the age of Aquarius. That's all I can say. All I got. Welcome to the age of enlightenment.
Yes, we were talking last night, and we was, sometimes we'll smoke a little something, and then all of a sudden we'll just be one thing leads to another. So we just was.
It's a rabbit hole.
I don't know what led us to the what were we talking about at first?
I don't know what we was talking about, but you was just like, hey, now what if there was another side to the Bible? I was like, okay, I see where you're going, but I already knew what she was talking about, but I want to let her just flow with it. So
get out,
go ahead, say what you was gonna say though. Go ahead.
No, when we was talking about, I think we were talking about the Bible and things like that, and we were talking about some of the stories that were in the Bible and how they and how we believe a lot of these stories to be true. And I said what's funny is I feel like the Bible is a double-handed sword because I feel like some of it could be true and a lot of it is false, but I feel like we pick and choose what we want to believe, and people hold on to that. So I was like to every story, and then there's the truth, of course. But I'm like, it just blew my mind on how we kept going into different stories and different things of the Bible play, on the word play, and all the scriptures and how they relate to today and how things can be misconstrued and we can look at it in a different lens now, whereas though we wasn't open to it before, So I dare not to say. I was like, what makes the Bible so powerful? I said, when you go into Barnes and Noble, when you go to these bookstores, it's a bookstore. You know what I'm saying? It's books everywhere. Just take out the Holy Bible of it all and just say, I'm in a bookstore. So what's the difference between a book that's on the fiction wall and a book that's in the religion wall? They're still books. They're still stories.
Yes.
So I was just coming at it from that side. Like, so if it's a story and if you choose to believe it, this is why the world is the way it is. And I said, so whoever wrote this book years and eons and eons and eons ago came up with a master plan to use this book to control and manipulate the masses. Not just us, but all of it, all religions, all of it. So I said, I don't know who the hell thought of it, King James or whoever it was before King James. I said, I don't know. How could they make this one book so powerful to rule the so-called world? And it's gonna abide by.
I can tell you. Go ahead. I said I can tell you.
Yeah, please.
That's a good question. I can't wait to hear that answer.
Well,
yes.
Well, this is just my point of view. So modern, so the Bible, what we have now, is written in modern English, right? Or English words, which a lot of those words didn't even exist before a certain time, which would have been, your AD, your before Christ, after the death, those type of things, right? So even like, for example, the letter J didn't exist when so-called Jesus walked the earth. The letter J didn't even exist. So how can you call somebody Jesus when the letter J didn't even exist when he was walking on the earth, right? So when we look at biblical texts, we have to not only look at historical texts, right? But we have to also realize that the Bible was written by people who know some shit. Right. And it was written by people who had experiences with esoteric knowledge, right? And so in the terms of the Holy Bible, the real title is Helios Biblios, or Biblios Helios, however you want to say it. Helios Biblios, which means sun book. That is the translation of the Holy Bible, sun book. Okay, so when you're thinking about a sun book, you're thinking of, okay, well, a book about the sun. Why would you write a book about the sun? The S-U-N, not the S-O-N, right? Because words, this is the thing about the English language, is that a lot of words have the same sound, but they mean two different things, right? So C and C, S-E-E-S-E-A, giving you examples here, right? Sun and sun, S-U-N-S-O-N. Okay? There, and there. There, and there. Two and two, and two. To the store, you two, I have two. Still means two. But what is the context?
Right.
You don't know because you didn't write it. So how you gonna say that this means this when you didn't write it? So for Mella's example, right? The resurrection, right? The resurrection story, that's not the first resurrection story. I took what really woke me up is I took world religions in college. And when I learned that Christianity is a baby religion, and that there's older religions that came before Christianity, and that my ancestors didn't practice Christianity before they were colonized, that they were polytheistic, meaning that they worship several gods and not just one God. I said, well, when did we start worshiping just one God? And why he got to be a man? Because last time I checked, life comes from a woman's belly, not a man's.
You're right.
So how can my creator be just a man? That's a lie. Anyways, besides the point. So to Mella's point of what she was saying, the resurrection story, right? That's not so. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of the resurrection story from where I've studied it. Okay.
All right.
So I study Kemetic teachings, which is Kemetic is Kemet is what was before Egypt. So Egypt and Kemet are one and the same, right? Kemet means the land of black, the black land of black people, essentially. That's what Kemet is, or Egypt. So we're talking before Egypt was Egypt, okay? Because Egypt is just another form of America. Rome, America, Egypt, it's all the same thing. It's just recycled in history, okay?
Yep.
Have a copy.
Exactly. Just like, Jesus with several other people that were Christ. Right. Jesus ain't the first Christ. Just like Neo ain't the first chosen one. There were many. Yeah. There were many. All right. So the resurrection story. So, and this is very loose, okay? Very, very loose. So in the Kemetic teachings, you have two gods, two gods, which are Osset and Asar. Okay. Isis and Osiris is what they called them in the Greek. But Osset and Asar, okay? This Osset is a feminine energy, Asar is a masculine energy. All right. So there's your duality. Okay. And together they eventually had a virgin birth, which the virgin birth, right, came from the fact that basically Asar's brother Set basically chopped his body up into millions of pieces and spread them all over the land of Kemet. And they say the tears of Osset, being sad from the loss of her love Asar, created the Nile River that we have now. Okay? Mythology. Mind you, these are not people. This is just spiritual mythology. Okay? So within her trying to bring her husband back to life, resurrect him, right? What she did is she used the scepter of a creator god named Ptah, and he had a staff that he carried, which the staff had different layers, which are represented as the vertebrae of your spine. Now, if you know about the vertebrae of the spine, this is why you need to know yourself. This is called knowledge of self. You have to know how your body works, because they know that we don't know how our body works, because we go to the doctor, we go to
right, but they do
Dr.
though.
So and so to tell us.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Guess how many vertebrae you have. Guess how many vertebrae you have. Guess how many vertebrae sets you have on your spine. Take a wild guess. And I'm gonna give you a hint. It's the age of Jesus when he was resurrected.
33.
How old was
30.
Jesus? Oh, 33. 33. So you got 33 vertebrae on your spine. Wow. And when you get up off the ground, what do?
It expands.
You rise.
Rise.
Right.
You resurrect.
Right. I got you.
So going back to the story. So Osset put her husband back together using the scepter, which had an ankh on it, as well as the vertebrae of the spine. She used that scepter to put all the pieces of his body back together, but there was one piece missing. Can you guess what that piece is? Come on now. If there was a virgin birth, if there was a virgin birth, it
was missing the male part, right? That was the only part, right?
The phallus.
Yeah,
the phallus.
Yeah, the phallus.
Yes.
Right.
The phallus. The phallus is what was missing.
Yeah.
So after bringing the body back together with the scepter, she enlisted Anubis, or Anpu, which Anpu is one of the gods in the underworld who sits before the scales that weigh your heart. Okay.
Right.
The scales also represent the chest of the body, and the scales are your lungs.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
This is why if you remove one of your lungs, you are not a full. You see what I'm saying? You're not put together the way you're supposed to be. Okay. So they remove parts of you that you'll never be back. Hello? You'll never be balanced.
That's fucked up.
So Asar ends up impregnating Osset, virgin birth, okay? Because there's no phallus. So how did you get pregnant without a phallus? Somebody tell me. Virgin birth. And guess who they birthed? They birthed Horus. They birthed the healer. Horus. Or Heru. Which Heru is the son of God, of Ra, because he is the bird that flies and is the
Falcon.
highest bird. The falcon, yes, excuse me. Sorry, I meant to say falcon. I had it in my head, I ain't say it.
Falcon.
He is
I
the
think-
falcon, and the falcon is the highest bird that flies. It's the bird that flies the highest in the sky.
Mm.
The highest.
I see.
So this bird, if it's the highest, of course, it's associated with the sun. And this is how you get your son or son of God. And that
Okay.
story came before Christianity.
Yes. Okay. So then who is Jesus?
Want to go deep?
Well,
Who?
You want me to tell you who Jesus is?
Yes.
I'll tell you who Jesus is.
well,